Well, this is my last ditch effort at summer style. Since today is Labor Day, and this video, of course, you are not viewing this video in real time because I recorded this earlier and then had things to do and just decided to not bombard you with another video today. So you're seeing it a day late, possibly, or early. I may post it later on tonight. But anyway, happy Labor Day, everybody. So I have had a good summer. You know, nothing eventful really that I can, to speak of. I'm gonna pick this up. Hey guys. Oh, I got a lot of hair going on here. I don't know what's going on, but it's funny. My hair just has just enough natural curl in it that it tends to go every which way, every which way sometimes. But anyway, I don't know. I had a good summer. I've had time to spend with family, my adorable grandchildren, and they are adorable. I don't care if you think they are or not. I do. We all think our grandchildren, and I think they're beautiful. And I'll get to spend a little more time with them in another week or so. Jessica's celebrating her 10-year graduation from University of Tennessee Veterinary College. I think they're having a reunion or something. But anyway, it's been a good summer. We've been at the lake some. We've had friends up there. And the temperatures right now are just so unseasonably cool. And I say cool. It's all relative. Y'all know that. But, 80 degrees, it was 100 degrees this time last year. So, I think it's great that we're in the 80s. And, I forgot what I was going to say. But anyway, I'm kind of mellow today. And I was thinking about that. I listened to that video Suzanne and I recorded at the lake. And I was laughing. I'm like, what is that voice I'm using? I said, I think that must be my first grade teacher voice. Or the voice I use when I'm calling my sweet cats. I don't know. But it was so high pitched, so high frequency. Oh, it was like, I don't know, it just was funny. We had a good time. Suzanne didn't feel great, but we're already planning a trip, the three of us, Suzanne, Lisa, and I are planning to meet up at the lake either the last weekend of September or the first weekend in October. We did this last year, and we made a little trip to Oak Ridge to do a little shopping at TJ's and Home Goods there. I haven't had a Big Ed's pizza in so long. I was thinking about that. I know I dated a boy from Kingston, Jimmy Anderson. Susie Dutton, if you're listening to this, you're just laughing hard, I'm sure. But I dated Jimmy. I'm sure he's Jim now. We were kind of serious for a while, but he was older than me. And we used to go to Big Ed's Pizza after the Roane County football game on Friday night. So, anyway, yeah, I haven't had a Big Ed's in a long time. So, my last outfit of the summer, and I gotta change my house over. It's still got seashells. I'll get that done. I always do. Take my seashells down and then let Jeannie clean when she cleans. That way she doesn't have to clean around all my knickknacks. And then I'll get out some pumpkins. And then, and I love my pumpkins. I do love my pumpkins. I'm not a big pumpkin spice fan. However, I do love the bread baskets pumpkin bread that has that like caramelly, mapley, brown sugar frosting on it. Oh God, that stuff is so good. That is not something I have lost my appetite for at this point. But anyway, I'll get my pumpkins out, and then I'll get the rest for Halloween stuff, because I know my granddaughter she's already got her Halloween costume, and they get excited. She's getting old enough now to be excited about it. I have changed my bed over, my bedspread. I put on this, it's a quilted one. I have four different coverlets. I have one that I just took off, which is kind of a linen. They're all Ballard. I love Ballard bedding. And then this one is the first one I bought, which is quilted in the seafoam. And then I have one, this will stay on until December. And then December I have this really pretty one that's like a velvet, and it's so pretty. And then let's see, September, October, November, then December, January, February, and then March I have one that is the seafoam and kind of an off-white color, like you care. And then I start all over again. So, okay, so what am I wearing? I'll do my jewelry first. This is Jane Wynn, and it's one of her coins. She calls these coins. And this one is the sun, and it has the lapis and the turquoise. Okay, now the necklace, gosh, that feels like something sharp. The necklace part was a lapis, pearl, and 14 karat gold strand, okay, like a strand of pearls. And it was dated, it was nice. It's nice. But my sweet Nancy Collins Collections took it and redid it for me and added turquoise in there. She had a hard time finding this. She's very picky, which I like. The lobster claw clasp thing here, okay? So she found it and she finished it, and I have earrings to go with it too, but I didn't have to put those on today. I'm wearing the Jane Wynn lapis and mother of pearl. They're just little hoops, okay? I do have on my Capucine de Wolf blue labradorite, which, it's all blue. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't have to be matchy stones. Gina Cueto, my two 10mm Eternity stacks, and then E. Newtons. I will tell you, I have the contact information for Gina. I'm a little disappointed in the E. Newton. I have an 8mm in the E. Newton, and the band, the elastic, has kind of gotten stretched out a little bit. I'm very mindful that Gina uses a heavier gauge elastic. Same quality of beads, but they're much more taut. And I like that. And plus, she goes up to a 14mm, which I also like. Maybe someday. Okay, so my outfit today is, as I said, very summery. It is a Joseph, oh gosh, I can't believe it. It's from Annabelle White, Ribkoff, Joseph Ribkoff. And the pants are lined, and they have zippers down at the bottom. And I never thought I would be able to wear a pair of Cheryl Dodson's pants, because Cheryl, if you know Cheryl, she's adorable. She's a tiny little thing. I guess she was heavier when she wore this, but the top is like a crepe. It's real nice and thin. So this is summery to me. This is very summery. And I love the tie here. And the pants, as I said, are lined, so they're kind of heavy. But a white pant that's lined is probably much more flattering than a white knit pant or a ponte knit that is not lined, because then my right knee is always a little bit bigger than my left because it is bone on bone. So it tends to swell just a little bit occasionally. So shoes are Jeffrey Campbell. They are leather, the leather Linques with the gold link on the top. And let's see, is that it? Oh, and the handbag I was carrying today is the Eric Javits. It's the big shopper that I've shown you quite often. It's white. It has the natural woven stuff through it. And I think that's it. So I had a reality check today. I've come across these pictures, and I came across the picture of a graduation picture, which I absolutely love, and I love that dress. I could describe it to you. I remember it was really long, and Mother had it hemmed up. She was worried she'd gotten it too short. I guess that was my introduction to a short tail dress. And I remember the shoes. The shoes were white patent. I know some of my friends who laugh and say I have a great memory for things in the past are probably laughing right now, because I do. I can remember it. I can tell y'all what I wore the very first day of school in 7th grade at John Overton High School. Yes, it was a shirtwaist. And I had on red Pappagallo loafers. I know. And they killed my feet. But anyway, and then I came upon this cruise picture. Oh my gosh. I looked so good. I was 22 years old. Very thin. My hair. I'm like, of course, we used to pull it through a cap, and frost it. I looked like it's like a jellyfish, and you'd pull it through. We had a bucket of bleach and cream developer, and I used champagne ice. We'd have frosting parties, and we'd, frost each other's hair, or we called it frost. But my hair looked so good, and I looked so good. Yes, it was my braless phase. I was very thin. I guess I didn't know what a strapless bra was then, or either that or I just didn't want to wear one. I mean, I was 22 years old. You don't think about those kind of things. I was probably 125, 130 maybe. Maybe I was very small. That dress was like a 6, I think. Maybe an 8. But I remember the dress. I know exactly what shoes I had on with it too. The dress was like, it was a sherbet color. It was a knit. It had a little tiny belt here. And the shoes were a very natural suede platform sandal. They were nice shoes. Had a necklace on. I don't know what bracelet I had on. I may have had on that one silver bracelet that I wore when I sent my POW bracelet back. I had this one silver bracelet, and I still have it, that I wore all the time. And my mother's outfit was adorable. That was silk. It was pants, kind of a palazzo pant and a little tunic. She was such a sharp dresser. And we had so much fun. I can remember, you think about these things when you age. A friend of mine said, I think you're having a midlife crisis. Well, gosh, I'm 72. It's not midlife. It's old life crisis maybe. But I think we just reflect back on our lives. And I think about all the fun I had. I mean, I was footloose and fancy free on that cruise. Mother was trying to get me away from a boy that she didn't like. So she said, we're going on a cruise. And it worked temporarily. And then it didn't work. But I remember the cute group of bankers from New York City. They worked right downtown. So cute. One of them kept, I don't know if he was sweet on me or what, but anyway, he was so cute. Richie, I think, was his name. And then I remember one of the officers, I may have put captain on the post, but it was an officer. He was one of the youngest officers. He was the youngest officer on the ship, Song of Norway, and I know he was kind of sweet on me, but he was just a great dancer, and I was into him for his dancing skills, because I love to dance, and he was, just natural rhythm. And I remember he took me dancing in San Juan, I think, and we just had so much fun. And there were a group of us. And Mary, my friend Mary, I met there from Metairie, Louisiana, and her parents, adorable. I would love to connect with her again. She had the best accent, New Orleans accent. And we went as a group. we'd always go in a group. And I participated in the talent contest there on the cruise ship. And I remember I got these Song of Norway glasses. Nobody was a winner, I guess. Everybody was a winner. But yeah, I mean, it was a great cruise. I would never go on another one. I don't think I'd want to be on a boat for a week again. But at that age, you don't think much about it. And the Song of Norway, they took it and made it one of the biggest boats. It was actually scrapped in 2013. I read up on it because I was curious. It was a beautiful boat and a fun trip. I'll remember it fondly, always. And then Sonny Dixon. I had to laugh. I don't know if you saw any comments. I'm rambling, aren't I? Any comments on the graduation picture, because I was standing like this, and I had that comment that I made from Star Night about the perfect foot position in a picture pose, and Sonny said, well, I wasn't sure if it was you or not, Weta, but his name's not Sonny. He's actually a minister. I don't mean to disrespect him, but Reverend Sonny, I'll call him. He said, I almost didn't think it was you because you weren't in the perfect picture pose. I met Sonny on my People to People to Europe trip back in 1970. I went for 6 weeks, and he was from Peabody, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, Sonny. And we had a group from Peabody. We had a few people from Hillsborough. We had Overton. And then we had a group from Knoxville. And then we had a group from Michigan. And that was I have just these great memories, y'all. And I'm so thankful to have these memories. I hope it doesn't mean I'm getting ready to die or something, that I'm having all these memories. But I'm very grateful for everything. Any little bit of partying I did, I don't regret a second of it, because I think I turned out pretty darn good, and I taught some wonderful children, and I still cherish my days in the classroom, and hope I set a good example for those children through the years. Okay, and I hope I set a good example for my son and my grandchildren. All right, y'all. Hey, Joseph Ribkoff, but you can't find it now because this was, I don't know how many seasons back this was, but you can find the Jeffrey Campbell Linques. Jane Wynn, W-I-N, she has real pretty jewelry. I really love her stuff. Jania cut my hair, and Capucine DeWolf, Gina Cueto, and E. Newton, and Eric Javits. I don't know anything else. Hey, happy Labor Day. I hope you've enjoyed it, and y'all take care. Talk to you soon.